Hello and welcome back to this Moon Messages reading. So if you are new to my channel, I am Leanne Marie. I am an intuitive card reader and spiritual mentor, and I do these Moon Messages readings every 2 weeks, so on the full moon and the new moon, and I bring through any of the messages that are coming through from the energies of the moon cycle. Now and again I'll do pick a card readings on here or general readings, and I also offer personal readings for anyone who's interested. If you do want to book a reading with me, you're welcome to contact me via the details down below in the description box. Please do give this channel a like, a subscribe. Please comment if you feel that anything resonates, and share with anyone who might be interested in watching these. So that's my little spiel that I have to go through, I feel, and I will now just go through the reading. So this particular reading is from the full moon in Gemini on the 7th and 8th of December 2022, depending on where you are in the world, until the full moon in Capricorn, I believe. Yep, full moon in Capricorn on the 23rd of December. Did that without my notes, and I'm really proud of myself because normally I have to look. Currently, for anyone who catches these videos all the time, you'll see another background. I'm just at my friend's at the moment, so yeah, looking all Christmassy. Yeah, I hope you've all got your Christmas decorations up, and well, if you don't celebrate Christmas, then maybe not, but but yeah, I hope you all get into the festive spirit if you do celebrate. Okay, so let me just get on with the reading. So there is a theme today, and it is all based on my recent realization in my own personal spiritual journey. And I think it's amazing because I love it when this happens. Like, literally, I get shown something, I get a realization in my own journey, and then I get to talk about it on readings because they always come through. And it's just like, wow, as soon as I saw them at cards, I was like, well, there we go, I get to share it now. I was thinking about sharing it in a podcast anyway, which I might still do. I'll go into more detail on that podcast episode. But yeah, I'll just give you a brief explanation of what my latest realization is that might help some of you guys. Okay, so the first card we have, I'm just going to move. I will get on with the reading in a second, but I'm getting distracted. So I bought this pyrite crystal for myself around my birthday, and I just realised that I brought it to my friends and had it in my bag, and I was like, oh, I'll get this out and put it on the table for when I do my readings. Look at that, isn't that pretty? But yeah, I keep put it on the table, but it's in the way now, so I might just move it out of the way. I thought I'd show you just in case anyone wants one. Go and get yourself pyrite, it's beautiful. Okay, so here we go. We have 5 cards, but they are all packed with information. Okay, so the first card we have is Attune to the Divine. Okay, it does say new moon in Pisces, but I don't really read those because I don't feel, unless they hold a particular message, but I don't feel this one does. So attune to the divine. Okay, now what this means is, I don't know if you remember, but if you watch the last moon messages and maybe the last 2, I talk about seeing things from a different perspective. Okay, that message came through quite a lot. So seeing things from a different perspective, a fresher perspective, different viewpoints, things like that. Okay, this is what the different perspective is. Okay, we've finally got the clarity on this. It's seeing things from a viewpoint of there's a much bigger thing at play. Okay, so that could be that the universe has a plan for you, God has a plan for you, life has a plan for you, whatever you believe in, or if you believe in something bigger, a force that's bigger than us, that energy, that force has a plan for you. Okay, and it also has lessons for you. And it works with you. Okay, it works with your energy. So I'm just going to explain this in terms of just give you an idea of what I mean. So have you ever been in situations where you, I don't know, maybe lost a job okay, and you thought it was the worst thing in the world to have happened at the time, and obviously generally it is, or you break up in a relationship with someone, and then later you realize something and you think, oh my goodness, like that is why it happened, like that is totally why it happened, and I completely see why that happened now. It was the right timing, everything just fell into place at the right time, like, you know, things like this. Or I've just been shown like a big disaster, okay, so something like, don't like to talk about these things, but like something like 9/11, okay, and then you see these programs where, you know, certain people were meant to be in that building at that time, but something else happened, like they, I don't know, got stuck in traffic, or, you know, they got really sick that day, so couldn't go to work, or, you know, things like that. And that's what I mean. It's like something bigger is happening, okay? It wasn't their time to be in that building at that time. Like the universe or God had a plan for them, okay? That was different. And yeah, so it's things like this. So there is something bigger at play, okay? So look at things from this perspective. So if something has happened in your life that you are still kind of healing from, or wondering about, or things might have happened years ago and then suddenly you just have a dream about something, or, you know, it comes back into your awareness, there'll be a reason for that, and then you might actually be having some kind of realization and be like, okay, actually I can see now why that happened, or it taught me this lesson and actually it's really helped me, something like that, okay? Be aware of something like that going on for you at the moment, or something that might come up, okay? It is just getting you to think, and actually you might not even be aware of anything at the moment. You might just be plodding along in a certain job or in a certain relationship, and what this card is saying is you need to start thinking about things not from just your human experience, okay? Start thinking in terms of, what am I putting out? Like what energy am I putting out to people, to my other half, or to my employer, or to my friends? Like what energy am I putting out? Who am I being? What am I saying all the time? And I'm going to get onto this on the next cards, because it really does, it all flows together and it all will make sense, okay? So it's just the awareness card, being aware of something bigger, okay? The next card we have is think it through. Now, this is kind of like, if you've ever heard of the law of attraction, if you haven't, look it up. That will explain it much better than I can. But this is like thinking about the thoughts, thinking about the thoughts that you put out. This is like the words that you speak out loud. This is also the, you know, the thoughts that you constantly think in your mind, and then the thoughts create feelings in your body. And so what are you mostly thinking, and what are you mostly feeling, okay? Now, the reason I say this is because my latest realization was just a random thought that came into my head. So that might be another thing. You might have a random thought that just completely makes sense. Like it just completely puts things into perspective, and you're like, wow, oh my God, like why did I not think of this before? Like this is the reason why, or something like that. So it could be that, but it's also to say, just pay attention to the thoughts that you are constantly thinking and the feelings that you are constantly feeling. And then this creates an energy that you put out to other people, okay? Which can also create some kind of reality in your world. Now, I'll just give an example. So if you're in a relationship, for instance, and you always wanted that relationship, you want to be in a relationship, and then you get the relationship and it's all lovely at the start, which it generally is, and then suddenly you feel like I'm going to give my own example, because just, you know, be completely open and honest, and it will just help with the explanation. So if you are someone who likes their own space, for example, however, you still want to be in a relationship, but you really like your own space, if you are constantly thinking, I want my own space, I want my own space. I love my independence. I would love to live on my own, or love to have my own home that I can escape to, or I'd love to travel on my own, or I'd love to be more independent financially, or I just love peace and quiet. I love my freedom. If you're constantly thinking like that whilst you're in a relationship, just be careful, okay? Because the universe is always listening, and it will create things based on your energy, okay? It will create things based on your thoughts and your feelings, which create your energy that you're putting out to the world, okay? So sometimes you can manifest that reality. So for instance, if you then get that time, so if you get that freedom, if you get that space, if you get those times on your own, and then you're constantly feeling good about those moments, you're then adding to that. The universe is going, of course, she really does love this. Like, we'll give her more of this, okay? And I think you can understand where I'm going with this. So then things happen and you end up on your own. And then you're like, oh, whoops, I manifested this, okay? Or you know when you like, so this is how powerful thoughts are, okay? So if you wake up and you have had a really bad sleep, and then you wake up and you stub your toe, or you're late for work or something like that, and you just think, oh, like today's already a bad day, and then your friend messages you and goes, how are you? And you're like, oh man, really bad day. And then you just keep in that mindset, and you keep thinking, today's really rubbish. I've had a really bad day already, and today's just not going to plan, and all of that. And then your feelings get affected by that. You're instantly in a bad mood. You're tired, you're grumpy, angry. And then your energy changes, and the energy that you give off to other people, is very present as well, like that negative energy. So then other people respond negatively to you, which then adds to that. Do you know what I mean? So literally you are adding to whatever you are thinking and feeling, okay? So just be careful, be mindful of what you are giving your energy to, because you will create in your life what you give the most energy to. Okay, so if you suddenly, if you find that you're constantly thinking negative things, or just kind of stop yourself and be like, is this what I want? Like, is this what I want in my reality, really? So just to kind of give you that little bit of insight there. And then the next card we have is Be Humble, which, if I can pick it up, Be Humble, okay? Now this card, I instantly knew what it was about. Like, I knew what this whole reading was about because of this card, and I was like, whoa, this is just mad. Like, yeah. I get to talk about it now with hardly any preparation, because I was going to do a podcast episode on this and I haven't really prepared for that, and I was like, oh, but I have to read it in this card reading anyway. Shush, Leanne. So Be Humble is about what you give your energy to, in terms of gratitude, in terms of appreciation, in terms of realizing who you really are. This is about bringing yourself back down to on the level of other people. This is about kind of empathy, compassion. I've just gone completely blank. It's about taking responsibility for your side of the street, okay? Cleaning up your side of the street. So there's a lot in this card, and I will go into detail probably on a podcast episode, but with this card I just want to kind of touch on what the general meaning is. So if you are someone who really desires to be able to own your own property, for instance, okay? And you, I don't think that's a good example. I think I've just lost it. Let me just think about this. No, I've given a really bad example there. Let me just backtrack. Sorry about this. I've just lost it completely. Okay, so I'm just going to use a generalized example. So if you desire something, right? to have lots of money, or to own your own place, or to travel lots, or to spend a lot of time on your own, or, you know, whatever it is, okay? If you desire that and then you get that, so like I was saying, you get the freedom, you get the space on your own. If you really, really want that in your life, when you get it, enjoy it to the fullest. Be really, really grateful for it. Really feel into it. Be present with it, okay? If you really, really want to get married, and you get married and you have that marriage and you get to spend lovely, amazing moments with that person, don't talk about the stuff that, like, don't constantly talk about the things that annoy you about that person, or think and feel negative things about that person. If you still want to be married, and if you still really love that person and want to be with them for the rest of your life, spend more time being present with the moments that matter the most, okay? So if you get to cuddle up on the sofa watching films together, if you get to spend time eating meals together at, you know, after work, or spending time with your children together, and be really present with those moments, okay? And really soak them up and feel into the good feelings, because what you're doing then is you're putting that into, I'm going to call it a vortex, okay? You're putting that into a vortex, which means that is your desires. That is what really aligns with who you are and your heart. That is what your heart is loving and really wants for you, okay? So you're putting all those things into the vortex, and that is what the universe creates more of for you, okay? They're saying, oh, she really loves this, or he really loves this. We're gonna put this, we're gonna make more of this, okay? If you're constantly thinking, oh, my husband, I don't know, really irritates me, like, oh, he really irritates me, really bugs me all the time, he's really like untidy, and, you know, all those things, and then you're really feeling that, if you're constantly feeling that, they're just going to do more of it. Okay? When they do things to appreciate, that you appreciate, like when they do tidy up, really feel the good feelings of that, really talk that up, really be like, oh my god, like, I found this is wonderful, thank you, like, I'm really grateful that you've washed up, or, you know, and really feel it and be present with it, okay? I hope I'm making sense, but this is so what this card also represents is taking responsibility for your side of the street. So what I mean by that is you actually have the power to control what is in your reality. You manifest things, and you do that by the words you speak, the feelings that you feel, the gratitude that you show, the energy that you put out, okay? That is all you. You create your life. You create what is reflected back to you. So just think about that. Okay? Take responsibility, be humble, hands up and all that. Okay? The next cards we have are Lighten Up and Practice Gratitude. So pretty much the same thing, okay? Now, I want to talk just briefly about this card. So Lighten Up. This is about taking the weight off, I'm going to say, the other person or the situation, okay? I'm only using things from my own realization with this, to give one example. There might be, I mean, you interpret this however you want. I feel like there's going to be different people's experience when they see this card. So when you hear Lighten Up, take it as you resonate with it. I'm just going to explain my side and how I resonated with it, okay? And this might not, and the reason I'm explaining this because I don't think it's going to resonate with everyone. When something bad happens, or something something happens in our life that is challenging or changes our life, like quite big, you know, could be like, I don't know, like a breakup, or you lose your job, or you fall out with a friend, or you have a car accident, like things like that, okay? When these things happen, we have a tendency to put the blame on the other person, to just be in victim mode and be like, oh, you know, woe is me, this happened to me, and, you know, that person is bad, or, oh, they were rubbish company anyway, or, oh, you know, the other driver was this, or, you know, whatever it is, you put the blame on other people, you know, if it was something that you feel like was totally their fault, it's very easy to do that, okay? Lighten up, for me, in my realization recently, was that I put too much weight on the other person or the other situation, okay? This is about taking the weight off a little bit. Now, there might still be some weight on there, but this is about balancing the scales. I'm going to use my own star sign here as an example. So Libra, balancing the scales, okay? This is about balancing the scales, taking equal responsibility, and that's that Be Humble card again, okay? Look at your side. And now, what I've just mentioned there about the way you think, the way you feel, what you say, how you express yourself, what energy you give out, what you're constantly saying, what you're constantly doing, they all have an impact. And the cat's agreeing. They all have an impact on your relationships, your work situations, your friendship relationships, the way you act in the world, the accidents that happen in your world, that they all have an impact, okay? So take responsibility for your side, take the weight off the other side a little bit and put a little bit of weight on your side. And this isn't about saying that you're at fault. This isn't about you feeling bad, okay? It's just about taking ownership and being like, whoa, hang on a minute. I had a part to play in this as well, okay? And I take responsibility for that. And now you get a chance to review it and see how you would do things differently next time, okay? So I hope that made sense. That's just my side and what I pick up from that card. But obviously, if you resonate with anything else from that card, so lighten up. It could be like lighten up the load. It could be that you are you're a bit sad lately and you need to lighten up a little bit, like not take things too seriously. There's all different meanings in that card, but it's completely up to you how you resonate with that. The next card we have is practice gratitude. Okay, I'm just going to go back to that previous message of whenever you are in something that you enjoy, that you love, that you really do desire, just really be in gratitude for it, okay? Sometimes we can forget to be grateful for things. Sometimes we have say for instance, just give me the word COVID. You know, when COVID first came out, I think we all realised just how much we were taking things for granted, shall I say? Not taken for, well, yeah, some people were taken for granted. But we all realise just how much we probably do take for granted in this world, okay? So again, it's about being present with those moments and really taking that in and just really being grateful for the little things as well as the big things, okay? And gratitude is something that is huge for manifestation, okay? So again, just think about what you want to attract and just ramp up the gratitude, okay? And then finally, we have the crystal of the moon cycle. Now, I will be honest, when I was shuffling these crystal cards, a card wouldn't come out. It was so stubborn, honestly. I've never known my crystal deck to be so stubborn. Actually, I need to get the book. I haven't got the book to hand. Where is it? Hang on a sec. That's not good. I'm not prepared. Ah, here it is. Okay. Normally I have the book set out on the page that I need and yeah, just not organised. Okay, so the cards were being really stubborn and they would not give me a card. And I was just like, what? This is normally the quickest card that comes out every week. Now, they dropped on the floor and this particular crystal just kept looking at me. And I was like, are you asking me to choose? I have to literally choose a card from the floor. So I think there's a message in that. It's like, don't kind of expect things to just arrive how you want them to, okay? Sometimes we have to actually do things ourselves to improve the situation, to choose things in our life, okay? To choose what we desire. And again, this comes back to this whole message here of what do you desire? What do you really, really want in life? And are you doing your best physically, energetically, emotionally to attract that, to create that in your life, okay? So that's literally only just came through in that by looking at that card. I'm just gonna try and find the actual card number and show you the crystal in a second. I've never heard of it, but it really stood out to me. Oh, look, we have a little cat with us. This is Tom. Say hi, Tom. It's coming for it to join in on the reading, aren't you? Yeah. Okay. Right, so let's have a look. So we have, I don't even know if I can say it. Dumortierite, but I loved the colour, and it was the colour that just kept like standing out to me. And actually the colour here is, well, it's a mixture of two. It's the crown chakra, which is the top of your head, energy centre at the top of your head, and the third eye chakra, which is, so the crown chakra is purple and the third eye is like a dark blue. And it's like a mixture of the two, I feel. So it's definitely more spiritually connected. The top chakras, top energy centres are about our spiritual connection and our visionary, like, you know, the visions that we see and our spiritual connection. Okay, I feel like I'm repeating myself, but yeah, so this whole card reading is literally just like about that. It's about your spiritual interactions and the what are you looking at? Tom's just staring at me. And actually cats, this is interesting, cats are actually really connected to the spiritual world, so it doesn't surprise me that he's here. Anyway, so I'm just gonna read out the meaning of this crystal and see if it connects. I really hope it does, because I chose it. So okay, essential meaning: organization, orderliness, clutter clearing, and list making. I've got a really itchy nose all of a sudden. Oh, that's normally like spiritual connections as well. Okay, not all plans will come to fruition, but in the planning we learn so much. Have you worked out your plans, making lists and organising your thoughts? Dumortierite Spirit's message to you is to take the ideas in your mind and commit them to paper in an orderly fashion. For you are supported right now in structuring plans that will help you achieve the fulfillment and healing you seek. Your mental discipline is enhanced now. So pull out your journal and write your to-do items. Draw arrows and pictures that help you prioritize and acknowledge what is most important to you and what needs to be on the low priority end of your list or dropped off your list altogether. Dumortierite Spirit wants you to know that you will feel stronger and more confident once you start working out your ideas on paper, and right now your power to put it all together in a way that works for you is at its peak. Commit to organising your ideas today, for the conscious universe wants you to know that you are better at this planning stuff than you might think. What are you doing, Tom? I'm just going to quickly catch this while I'm reading it. So that is a really good way of getting clear on what you want, to write it down. Okay, so get all the love from Tom. Is to literally write down, if you're not sure about your desires, what you really, really want in a job, in a relationship, in a home, in, you know, your financial situation, just write it down. And the more you write, the more will come clear to you. Okay. Relationship message. Dumortierite Spirit has appeared to encourage you to bring about orderliness in your interactions with others and in your thinking about your relationships. Now is a perfect time to journal about your thoughts and feelings when it comes to people you care about. If challenging emotions come up, be secure in knowing that divine guidance is there for you and that the conscious universe wants you to be happy. Dumortierite Spirit calls you to write lists and set plans for what you want and need in your relationships. You are entitled to receive love easily and naturally, and as you get honest with yourself through journaling and list making, you will start to see whether you need to adjust your relationships to make this easier. Love yourself enough to journal about your truth as you collect your thoughts and get organised when it comes to planning how you might improve or enhance your relationships. I love this. This is all just making complete sense, isn't it? Okay, prosperity message. Divine guidance is yours now, as your ability to think through and plan how you will secure prosperity and build your affluence is powerful in this moment. Make lists, devise your strategy, and commit on paper to doing what you want to do. Make it real by writing it down as you organize your thoughts and set a course for growing the prosperity you deserve. Know that your finances are not out of your control simply because you do not have complete certainty about your situation, what you must do, or what lies ahead. You will feel more confident in this knowledge today if you hearken back to the Dumatirite Spirit's message that divine order is always at work in your life. So get organized to align with the flow of abundance that is always available to you. Crystal Spirit Meditation. Dumatirite works to open and clear the third eye and crown chakras. This stone is beneficial to wear or carry on those days when brain fog is an issue and clarity is required. Meditation with Dumatirite assists you in connection to source or the divine, whilst also facilitating psychic awareness. I cannot believe how on the point that was with the whole reading, and I had not read that. I had not read that book. As you knew, I didn't have my book, so oh my god, like, wow. This amazing, absolutely amazing. So that is the reading for the full moon to new moon cycle. I hope it made sense. Let me know in comments. Feel free to message me privately as well if you want to book a reading. All my details are in the description box below, and I will see you on the next moon messages. Thank you. Bye.